And this is the next thing I want to emphasize here. John Stott said, in context of what the churches were going through. Remember, you saw some of the video, right? These churches are going through all kinds of challenges. Two of the churches, for example, are facing immense persecution. Right? The rest are coming under all kinds of pressure. Some have chosen to remain, to become faithless and compromise. But essentially, they were facing problems or challenges from the Roman authorities. The Jewish people were giving them problems. That's why you hear these are synagogue of Satan and things like that. So under such circumstances, listening is important. Yeah, listening is important. But what these people need to see, it's really a vision of Christ. So let me read for you what John Stott says. A church with its back to the wall, fighting for survival, needs more than moral exhortation and pious entreaty. It must see Christ. And so the purpose of this vision is not for John, yeah, but it's through John for the whole church. So, I want to bring in an application point here, and maybe with that we will close. How we see God, okay? How we see God. Okay, maybe let me read for you this. I think he puts it very well. Greg Laurie puts it this way: it is important how we view God, because that will determine how we view life. Our view of God will dictate how we live. It will determine the decisions we make. There are no areas of our lives that are not impacted by how we view God. Not too long ago, in my own devotion and all that, I was wrestling with many things, with the way I see things happening around me, etc., and all that. And the lyrics of this song came to me. I have made you too small in my eyes. Lord, forgive me. And related to that, I have believed in a lie. Okay, you all know which song is that? The chorus is, be magnified, O Lord, right? Very often, how we live our life, it's shaped by how we see God. Would you agree? Right? Now, if your view of God it's very small, very often that will mean you think you're bigger than God. And God will be sidelined, God will be marginalized, and God will be almost non-existent in your life. But if your view of God is shaped, for example, by revelation, and you see the glory, the splendor, the awesomeness, and everything about God, do you think that will affect how you live your life? So my question is, how you see God, what is it shaped by? Is it shaped by the Bible, which will then dictate how you should live your Christian life? Or are your views of God dictated by lies? For example, lies that you choose to listen to. Now, I want to be specific here. Lies as in, for example, there are false teachings that go around that paint for us a very distorted view of God. For example, prosperity gospel. Now, prosperity gospel tells you God exists to serve you. God exists to bless you. God is obliged to bless you and make you have abundant life materially, for example. God owes it to you to heal you on this side of eternity. Yeah? And all you need to do is have enough faith. All you need to do is to do the right thing. Like press a few buttons, and then like vending machine, the results will be delivered, like drinks like that. Is that the correct view of God? God becomes like your servant, like the genie. Yeah. Or, for example, there's another kind of teaching that goes around hyper grace, right? God is gracious, everything God will forgive you. So you go and sin, God will forgive you. God already forgiven you. So you go and sin and do what you like, because everything is about yourself. It's not really about God. So can you see how your view of God? What I hope that What I hope this revelation will do to you or do to us is that don't play with this God. Don't play with this God. Now, there is it is true. God is transcendent. God is also immanent, right? God is close to us. But I think very often our view of God in modern Christianity is, this God pally. It's okay. He's a good pal anyway. Do anything, he's all right. Very often I think our view of God takes out the awesomeness of God out of the equation. And that, like I explained, that, you for example, I counsel people who had affair, adultery, and things like that. Or, it starts from pornography, and then it just grows. My question is, when you're in that room of yours, looking at pornography side and all that, where was God in all this? What was your view of God when you were doing all these things? And sometimes you have to admonish or rebuke, right? What is your view of God? Do you think God is blind? Do you think there are certain places that God cannot be there? Or when you develop it into adultery, when you're in that room committing this thing with someone who is not your wife or not your husband, where is God in all this? What is God to you? And I like to think that if you think God is an awesome God, that will help you to think twice, right, before you commit those kind of things. You get what I'm trying to say? So tonight, one of the key themes is, how do we see Jesus? Yeah, what is Jesus to us? If we have filled our minds with lies, distortion about God, who God is, that will affect how we live our life. Yeah? But if you fill our mind with a true and accurate picture of who God is, that helps a lot in the way we live our lives in a correct way. So that is one message I hope you can bring back with you